Yo guys, Spiderbot here. We got some more behind the scenes Mob of the Dead. This time we're going to be looking at these pages that were outed in this behind the scenes trailer. And it looks like we've got some escape plans that, or notes that have been jotted down by who knows who. Get it? Who's who? Who knows who? At any rate, we're going to talk about a few things. I know we're going to do a video about the Afterlife and show some screenshots of actually being in Afterlife. But and that's the symbol. You see that symbol, the eye symbol that we showed from the original trailer, and there were two eyes located on some of the buildings, whatever. So it looks like we have to go into the Afterlife to apply power to things that exist on the regular map, like perk machines, etc., and traps. And each of the perk machines has this voltmeter beside it, so you know you obviously have to power this thing in the Afterlife, we're presuming, and then it'll be powered. You can grab the perk, and possibly to get out of the Afterlife, you have to find the portals. Now we've got this escape plan here. Step 1, find the warden's key. Step 2, get the plane parts. Step 3, build the plane on the roof. Step 4, get the hell off the island. I don't know. How the hell are you going to launch the plane off the roof? Is the roof that big you can actually take off, you know, have enough distance to take off with a plane? Obviously, it's not going to be that easy. It's like, yeah, that's the steps of the Easter egg. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more to it if that is, in fact, the case. Now, if you look to the bottom of this page, I've been working on this with Rage and Croissant over Skype, and he translated the cursive writing, some of the cursive writing. And what we have at the bottom middle is, I'm not sure what I saw. Some things are best kept to yourself. Now, this might relate back to the Ghosts of Alcatraz video we did. It almost looks like there's an image of a ghost just above the text, or there's that face to the right. And if you remember that jail cell image we saw from the trailer, that one image with the teddy bear, it may be a relation there. Over on the right-hand side where we've got the voltmeter, and presumably, again, something we have to power in the Afterlife to apply to the perk machines, etc. The text looks like it says, "Come to think of it, I don't recall seeing a way of charging work on them. I believe this could have something to do with its purpose." So that's all we can make out there. With regards to that number, that box in the bottom right, it's a 4x4 matrix of numbers. Looks like that's either an A equals or X equals, probably X equals. Now, you can do some matrix calculations on that, and that's where I posted that number on Twitter. If you do the determinant of that 4x4 matrix, what you end up getting is the number 316. Now, you can look that up. I mean, the determinant is an important feature of a 4x4 matrix. The other thing that Ragin found is if you take the numbers and directly convert them to letters of the alphabet, you get Mob of the Dead ABDC. Or sorry, ABDC. ABCD. Trollololo. Thank you very much, Jimmy and the crew. Now, let's go back up to that first image. You see those letters on the right-hand side? They're basically using a combination of letters of A, D, F, G, and X. And you know what that is? We actually found a link to that. That's called an, well, hey, ADFGX Cipher. And you can look it up. And in cryptography, it was a field cipher used by the German army on the Western Front during World War I. It was, in fact, an extension. There was an ADFGVX cipher that was an extension of this one, which was a bit more complicated. But basically, all you did, and I'll link you to some articles on this. And there's a fairly complicated way of deciphering, and there are tools on the internet to decipher. But you really need to know a keyword. There's a keyword that you have to decide on or come up with in order to apply it to see how the letters of the alphabet apply. Basically, you take an ADFGX across the top for the columns, and then an ADFGX going down the left-hand side for your row. And then what you do is basically take every two letters, gives you the row letter and the column letter. So if it was AA, you'd have row 1, column 1. In our case, you know, we've got FF, so go row F, column F, and then whatever letter of the alphabet was in there, and you'd plug in your letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, everything except I. I and J were sort of interchanged, and then you decipher it. So without some sort of keyword, we have no way of deciphering this text. So we're not sure exactly what it means at this point. Okay, so we're going to go to the full 2 pages, and I did brighten it up fairly significantly so we could see some of the text. If you look down that right-hand side, it was easier to see in one of the other images, but what that says, there's an N and then panic as stocks crash. And let's take a look at this Wall Street Journal image. It's the exact same text, Wall Street in panic as stocks crash, and this was in 1929, October 24th, 1929 was the article on a Thursday in New York City. Wall Street in panic as stocks crash. So this page that's underneath this page that they're making notes on is that headline, presumably, of that day. Now, looking back to this image, there is a date on that left-hand page in the top right corner. It says February 26th, 1932. Now, these dates, October 24th, 1929, February 26th, 1932, were before Alcatraz became a federal prison. It used to be a military prison until October 12th, 1933. And it wasn't until August 11th, 1934, that the first batch of prisoners arrived at Alcatraz. So whether they're going along with the actual time in history, we're not sure. If you look closely at the top of that right-hand page, remember this, Al, don't forget. So was this written for possibly Al Capone? None of the characters that we see would be named Al. The only other thing I could think that maybe they meant to say was remember this all, don't forget, but I don't know, maybe it was written for Al Capone, who knows. The stuff on the left-hand side, it's Rajan, there's some text in the left center. He says, not going to work without a propeller, and it looks like it's the plans to build this airplane. We do have, again, 2 more of those eye symbols that we see on the right-hand page. On the bottom right of the left-hand page, we do have what looks like trap activation switches on the bottom. A cat has 9 lives, and if we look at the whole Afterlife thing, and when we get to that video, we'll see that you have this symbol that's just to the top of your HUD that shows, I think, what means that you can actually respawn in the afterlife, and perhaps you can only do that 9 times in total. Not sure. I do remember also before the Replacers trailer came out, the COD channel was spamming a bunch of these short, little brief Replacer videos, and I looked at them briefly. I'm like, what the hell are these? And they're gone now. I couldn't find them, and one of them was about a cat, and I can't remember exactly what he said. It was kind of something still silly about a cat, but again, it looks like just plans for building an airplane. So if we look back to the right-hand page, Warden's key and then the plane parts, I mean, it looks pretty significant, the number of parts that we have to collect for this plane. So that's pretty much all we have now on this part of it. I'm just going over my notes to see if there's anything else. One other thing. February 26, 1932 was the birth date of Johnny Cash. There wasn't really anything else significant about that date. So who knows? Maybe one of the guys at Treyarch is a fan of Johnny Cash and thought, hey, we'll put the date of his birth on there. The president at the time was Herbert Hoover. I don't think there was anything else significant that happened on that date in 1932. So that's it. That's all we got so far. We're still working on it, man. This will probably tie in. Again, trying to decipher that code on the right-hand side of the page is probably going to be the most interesting thing if we could find a cipher key. We'll have more for you soon here at NGTZombies. One other thing in the top left corner, looks like Rajan managed to decrypt this as well. We need a ramp, but where do we hide it? Okay. So that's the ramp. Maybe, I don't know, that's going to give us a little extra oomph when we got this plane built up on the roof and we got to take off. You know what's interesting, though? If we build this plane, we take off. Is there an ending to this map? Is there an ending to this map? Because we have never seen that in a COD map. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times on custom zombies maps. maybe they're putting an ending in this map where you actually build the plane and you get to take off. And it's like, yay, we left Alcatraz, we're alive, or we're free, or whatever. That would be interesting. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, guys. Until next time, I'm Spada. Thanks a lot, Raging Buddy. Corazon. Put your Twitter ID in the description. Thanks, man. I'm out.